Welcome everybody. My name is David Wayne. I'm the National Practice Manager for the Education Sector at Data3. Welcome to today's professional development session on how to use Adobe Spark to create digital assets and then share them on Microsoft OneNote or Teams. So as the preferred software partner for thousands of Australian schools, we're delighted that Microsoft and Adobe are working together to seamlessly share content across their applications to further enhance the learning experience in our classrooms. So with me today, I have two senior educational specialists from Microsoft and Adobe. Both have been teachers in a former life, so have good insight as to what's needed in the classroom. Welcome to Steven Payne, who's a Microsoft Learning Delivery Specialist, and Dr. Tim Kitchen, Adobe's Senior Educational Specialist for the Asia Pacific region. So we hope you enjoy the session today and find the content valuable. If you have questions of any of the topics that are raised, please click on the link on your screen below. You will also offering the opportunity to win a free workshop for your school with Dr. Tim Kitchen at the end of the session, and we'll provide those links as well. So with that, I'll hand over to Steven. Thank you.
Thanks very much, David, and thanks to Data3 for inviting Microsoft to join in with this Adobe workshop today. I'm just going to kind of put hybrid learning into context. Obviously, over the last year or so, we've had patches of remote learning, and we've had a lot more interest in the technology that's available to schools. So we're looking at what we've done online and how we can bring that into the classroom as well and have a hybrid learning environment. And all those things that I've written on the screen are kind of the main things that you need. It's all about personalized, relevant, and engaging learning. So these are what I consider the 5 elements of hybrid learning, and I'm going to briefly touch on each of these and show you how that fits in with particularly Microsoft Teams and Microsoft OneNote. So I think we'll look at each of these elements in turn, and you will see that these are all readily available to schools that have the Microsoft licensing and can be added to with other apps. So I've just put on some of the apps that we use in Microsoft. So you can embed OneNote, PowerPoint, and Forms within Teams, but you can also use other apps like Flipgrid, and as we're going to hear from Tim and Jason later, Adobe Spark and other Adobe products. So what we want to do is have a learning environment where students are comfortable to grow and work together. So we want to make an accessible environment, just like we do in the classroom. We want that to be available in our digital environments. So a really great example is Microsoft Teams. Over the last 18 months, a lot of extra features have been added into Microsoft Teams. So it can be a great environment for students to access their materials, for students to have class discussions, but also share the content that they've been working on, whether that's individually or in groups. So you can have class conversations, but you can also have via OneNote an area where students can work and collaborate in the same place. So this is something where you're able to add on extra apps. So Flipgrid is an example here. All of the Microsoft apps like PowerPoint and Forms can be added into your digital learning space. And as we'll hear later, lots of Adobe goodness as well. So then we come on to lesson design, and this is where we can really see lots of different ways of teachers coming up with great ways of engaging students, being creative, and making interactive spaces for the students to work. So we can upload all sorts of files. As we've discussed, you can add all that content into OneNote. And OneNote is such a flexible tool. You can add all sorts of content from video to audio to multimedia, particularly the things we're going to look at with Tim and Jason as well. So now let's look at engagement very quickly. We want students to be able to choose how they present their information, choose how they work together. I think the 3 key things to having engagement in a classroom are student voice, student choice, and student agency. And I think the Microsoft Teams allows students to work in the ways that suit them. So a really great environment to bring in that student engagement. And then finally, the assessment and feedback. We want to check that students are on the right path, that they are learning, that they are collaborating, that they are developing the skills. So we've got ways within Teams to assess with formative assessment as well as summative assessment. And we actually have an inbuilt assignments section within Teams. So you can bring in everything that you've done in OneNote or any of the other apps and set them as assignments. So a student can see all assignments that they've been set across their school or their year group or their subjects. We can create and share rubrics across our schools and with other schools. And we can also have insights into how our class is doing. So has a student been inactive? Are students working late at night? What are students discussing? What are the most accessed files? All of those things can be accessed really easily within Teams. So as a teacher, you can actually see that engagement and see how students are collaborating, sharing, and gain insights into the ways that they are working. So that's just a really quick overview of some of the things that are available in Teams. If you want to find out more about setting up your own class team or managing your class notebook, there are some really great websites and videos that Microsoft have put together. Those links are available on the screen now, and we've also got those on the Data3 Education website. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Tim Kitchen and Jason Lane, an Adobe educator, who are going to share their best practice for using Adobe Spark within Teams and OneNote.
Thank you, Steve. It's fantastic to collaborate with you and to have this partnership between Adobe and Microsoft and Data3. It's incredibly valuable for so many teachers and students all over the country. The way that I see it, Microsoft is the global leader when it comes to digital productivity solutions, and Adobe is the global leader when it comes to digital creativity solutions. So a blend between both organizations provides the best possible solution for any teacher or any student out there who's wanting to add an extra element of productivity and creativity to the work that they do. Stephen, I don't know if you've seen the most recent research, but creativity has become one of the most sought after skills by hiring managers and small and large businesses over the last 15 years. In fact, the World Economic Forum have rated creativity as the third most important skill to thrive in the future. So the more that we can expose our students to these productivity and creativity solutions, the better for their futures.